43.
42. 41.
40.
39.
Number 1.
39.
38.
37.
36.
35.
34.
33.
32.
31.
30. 29.
28.
27.
26.
25.
24.
23.
21.
20.
19.
18.
17. 16.
15.
14.
13.
12.
11.
10.
9. 8.
7. 6. 5.
4.
3.5.
3.
2.
1.
Hey, Rocky, you want to see me pull a show out of my hat? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Hi, and welcome to the Mouthwash Talk Show, a minty, fresh take on politics, and I'm all fired up tonight. It's been a crazy day yesterday. I was playing reporter down at the State House. I testified. I got interviews. I got clips. I got clips for you tonight. Yes, I do. We got a great bunch of guests on tonight. We got Micah Beckwith up first. Yeah, I think he's coming on first. He's wrapping up right now, so I got a few things to do here. I want to show you real quick. I'm going to go ahead and bring on the panel. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and bring on the panel now. I see Lucy. I don't see Tiffany yet, but we have this many people. What do we got here? Why can't I get people moved? What's the deal? So, I love this thing sometimes. StreamYard keeps changing stuff. We'll just leave it like this. Let's leave it like this. I don't like that background. Hold on. What do we got here? Let's go with that background. There we go. That's not so busy. That's not so busy. So Lucy, how are you doing? We'll start with you tonight. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to our guests this evening. I've got a couple of hard questions for them, as I'm sure you knew I would.
Oh yeah, you do not disappoint. Let's burn it down. Taxation is theft, and let's go.
Yep. There you go.
So Brad, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Lucy tried to rage bait me earlier this week.
I did.
Well, that's always
worked.
good. I love it when the panelists are fighting.
She sent me. Well, it really had nothing to do with me at all. It was about Elon Musk that was, and he was crediting, or he retweeted something from Andrew Ireland, and Lucy was just celebrating the whole ordeal. And she was like, "Isn't this great, Brad Sawinski?" Like, I had nothing. I wasn't doing anything to anybody. But yeah, that made me laugh.
Like a little midweek drama. Well, I was in Florida. We did have a week off. I played the very first episode of Mouthwash, and wow, it was. I think people were sort of impressed with it, and I was sort of surprised. Things have gotten better on some stuff, but hey, it was not bad for 5 years ago. 5 years. Can you
5
believe
years?
that?
Oh my God.
I know it. It's crazy. But this show has helped me speaking, and it helped yesterday at the State House. I'm not going to show my testimony. You'll have to go to my social media to that. But I do have something that, Lucy, you're close to being a boomer. You're not a boomer, but Brad, you're not even. I'm
71. I get called a boomer all of the time because
yeah,
of
you do.
my
Well, you'll like
mannerisms
this. So I was at the airport, sitting at the airport, coming back Sunday from Orlando, and I'm sitting there and I see this coin under my seat. I pick it up, and boomers don't have very good reading. We all need reading glasses, basically. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. So I take a picture of it with my phone, and then I blow it up.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to show it here. Hold on. Let's see. Let's put it on here. There's the picture.
Yeah. It was awful, John.
But okay, so I put this on Facebook, and I did it on purpose. When I saw it blurry, I said, I'm just going to this is going to be an internet experiment. I'm going to see if people are really going to help me with what coin this is, or how much they're going to complain about the blurriness. Now look at this. So it goes on Facebook, which automatically goes to Instagram, which goes to this thing called Threads, which I have no idea what it is. I just have it. Usually when I post something, it gets 3 likes, 5 likes, or whatever. 1.7 million views
You finally went viral.
And it's like, and it is hilarious. If you're on Threads, the comments, Leah and Lisa were literally crying, laughing with this. The comments went wild on it, but I just thought it was just interesting. Brad's underimpressed, I can tell.
Well, I just love it. Like, it's nice and wholesome though, Threads. Or was it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just pure boomer. Oh my gosh. It was all the memes. It was one of the funniest ones. It had 53,000 likes on this comment. It says, "My grandma took a sharper image with her iron." And then it went, I tell you, Lucy, you will lose it. You gotta, I mean, it had,
I'll go find
memes, the memes with the guy with a bunch of glasses on. It was just, it was a blur Euro. That was what it was. My Europa. You just have to look at it. It's hilarious.
I can't wait to see it. Now, did anybody ever actually determine where it was?
Oh yeah, it is a Slovakian $2 euro. So I found $2 euro under my seat at the airport. And then one guy said, "Oh, I didn't know the coin was waiting to get on the plane." so anyway, okay, so I see Micah back in the back. He looks like he's getting ready. I was with him last night at the Tea Party North. We had a good time. It was we were hamming and egging it. He was talking about stuff, and I was backing it up, and it was. And I'll tell you what, the man. Brad, you can say what you want to say about it, but he will stay and answer the questions till the last dog dies. I mean, you may not like the answers, but he is not out there just mailing it in. So it was interesting. And after a long day at the State House, I don't know how the boy does it, but he is a lot younger than this boomer. Because when I got home after a day of that garbage at the State House, 4 hours of testimony, and it's stressful, man. That's reporting stuff stressful, but I do have that magic press pass that gives me free parking, and it's just like my magic golden ticket from Willy Wonka. So yeah, it's good. But so what I'm going to do is I got a bunch of clips here. So we're going to start this out with this is Rod Bray. I was your number one reporter. This is an exclusive from the Mouthwash Talk Show. John Schmidt's reporter on the scene. This is Rod Bray, and I'm up there, right up in it. I'm up in it. So here you go. This is Rod Bray coming out explaining what the process is going to be. And then we'll have Micah on the other side here. I'm just going to bring him on, and we're going to be one big happy family after this. So here you go. Here's a clip, minute 15 of Rod Bray explaining what the process is, the schedule is going to be for this week.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy holidays. Obviously, here we are back. The House has sent a redistricting bill over. Let you know a little bit about what this week is going to look like. Obviously, session today, so they have the first reading on the bill. The committee will start to do that here shortly at 1:30, and they'll hear it probably 3 or 4 hours at least. Take testimony from Hoosiers across the state to understand what they're thinking about this bill. Then on Tuesday, we'll come back into the chamber for a very quick session to take the committee report. Wednesday, you'll see us have a second reading, and then probably Thursday, potentially Friday, but probably Thursday, you'll see a third reading vote on this issue.
Senator Bray, you said initially that the Senate would not reconvene to discuss this issue. What factored into your decision to bring the Senate back to talk redistricting?
Like my comments before, I mean, the issue was causing a lot of strife. It seemed like suddenly the issue was more about whether we're coming in or not, as to whether there was support for the issue. So we just decided to come in and vet the issue, and we'll vote on it and answer the question.
One more, guys. So you said that earlier that the votes weren't there. Now you're saying that perhaps we'll all find out later this week. Does that mean the Senate now has the votes to pass this forward?
It means we'll all find out on Thursday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
So there you go. Hey, Micah, how's it going?
Good. How are y'all?
We're doing good. You just rushed home from a meeting, I'm sure, and
we had an event at our church. It was we screened the Bonhoeffer movie. If you never watched it, it's an amazing movie, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, and then we had a panel, a bunch of Q&A with a bunch of people. TPUSA. We had Faith Wins here, and so just kind of a cool, like, how to stand strong in a culture that's constantly throwing darts at you. So it's good, good stuff.
So how'd you like my reporting? That was me with my iPhone and Rod Bray's face. And I had another little bitty reporter under me, and my arm was on his shoulder. So he was my camera stand. In one of the videos, you can hear one of the people breathing. Real good. So yeah, I'm in there. I'm in the bullpen or whatever they call it back there, getting the interviews. So
no, I saw you back there from my dais. It was good to see you back there. I thought you fit well. You fit in well, and I don't mean that as a slam, but that was you fit in well, and I'm glad to see you in there because I think, John, one thing people forget is that you're fair. You'll ask the hard questions, but but I think what you do is you speak your mind fairly, and you ask fair questions, and you report what you hear fairly. So I feel like that's lacking in a lot of what we see in our Indianapolis media. I mean, you've got bias big time all over the place, and then you got people who just make up stories and lie flat out. And
yeah, it's painful sometimes, as trying to do that. I mean, I'm in there talking to you, and then Cassie Jackson's hugging me out and the thing cheering for me when she's against it, but I'm in there saying for it. So it's just let's see, politics make strange bedfellows. Is that what they say? But I was very impressed. If anybody's been to any of the houses or the Senate, when they start reading the bills, they'll just start reading it like really fast, and then the chair gavels it out. I mean, you had a good beat going on that. How many bills did we go through? Like 19 or 30? How many was that?
Well, we had 3 yesterday. We had 3 file lists. So basically, you're reading the bill into the sort of the record, right? And I don't know. I think the first one had probably 30 some bills. The second one had 15. Third one had about 20. So yeah, there were quite a few bills. And so theoretically, just under the way the procedure is they have to be read in, but you don't have to read the whole thing. So now if I wouldn't gavel him down when he's reading them, he'd have to go through and read the whole bill. And so it would take a lot longer.
Was it organization? Yeah. You did that for him on one of them. One of the places, either in the house or in yours, he started reading,
and they just let him go.
And they let him go. Yeah.
Yeah. I just keep him on his toes. It's like, hey, why don't we stop and actually read one of these bills here for James? But I think everyone kind of
the guy was
shocks people. Yeah.
Looking at like, hey,
he's looking at me like,
out here,
hey, anytime you can gavel me down anytime. So
it's like those, the little disclaimers on the commercials. You want it's
yeah, no kidding.
Anyway,
yeah.
Mike, I want to get this quick. We got 2 other guests behind you. We've got Senator Rodney Pohl that's going to come on. He said, I've heard of this Mouthwash show. So he's still coming on, but we as you said, we keep it fair and we keep it good. And we got Brad here to keep us honest. I don't know where Tiffany is. She's not.
Yeah. Okay.
But this will be good tonight. We have plenty of people. So I want to let Lucy ask a question. I mean, she said she had some good questions. So Lucy, go ahead.
Well, the topic for this evening is the redistricting, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So the first thing I've got a question for you, Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, is are you elected to represent all Hoosiers?
Yes.
So what is the purpose of redistricting?
To protect the voice of Hoosiers in Washington.
Which Hoosiers? All of them,
Hoosiers.
Or just the ones that agree with you?
All Hoosiers.
Okay, so what do you say to Hoosier citizens who want their vote to count when you and other politicians collude to prevent Hoosier citizens from having a chance to vote for someone that holds a belief that is different from yours?
So here's what the redistricting battle is all about. It's about 50 states. It's about state sovereignty. Because after the 17th Amendment, we have very little state sovereignty left in the United States. And so what we have been seeing over the last 4 or 5 decades, and listen, gerrymandering has been going on all the time. We gerrymander. Every state gerrymanders. For someone to say no one gerrymanders, they're out of touch or they're lying. But what's happened with states like Illinois, California, the New England states is they've gerrymandered and counted their people in a way that actually pads their numbers for the left. And so they are actually stealing our voice, our sovereign state voice in Washington. They're watering it down. So this is about the collective voice of Indiana in Washington. So when they do things to steal Republican seats and put them into Democrat hands, now that's a problem for us. It's not we can't be isolationists. This impacts us when Illinois cheats or does something nefarious, and they're playing by their own rules. They're making up their own set of rules. So we didn't start this. This is something that has happened over the course of probably 50 years, where it seems like the left just gets more and more nefarious in how they draw their maps, how they count their people, and they're doing things to help them with a blatant gaming the system mentality. And so what we're doing now is we're saying, and this is what President Trump came in, he said, guys, Republican states, wake up. They're eating your lunch. They're breaking into your state. They're stealing your voice. Stand up and fight fire with fire. And so that's what we're doing. Ultimately, Lucy, I hope that what happens is that we can have the Supreme Court step in and say, hey, every state has to play by these same rules. That's what I want. I don't want Indiana playing by different rules than Illinois. If Illinois is playing by a set of rules when it comes to redistricting, we are forced to play by their rules, or vice versa. I don't want that. I want all states to play by the exact same rules. And if we can get to that point, I think it'll be a healthy place. But it's going to take fighting fire with fire before the referee, which is the Supreme Court, actually steps in to do their job.
Okay, yeah.
It seems like you're worried if you don't throw some elbows and trip a few people that they're going to get to the goal. And so, I mean, from my position as a libertarian, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. What I'm seeing is you taking the same playbook that's being used against you,
that's right,
and then turning around on them. And I'm not 100%. Saying that makes it right.
No,
the thing that concerns me the most is Trump.
That's what we're doing.
If Trump had not thrown down the gauntlet and said, "Hey guys, you're getting a bad deal," and he's the prime deal maker here, I see Trump putting in a tremendous amount of pressure on Indiana, and basically saying, "If any of you don't go along with me, I'm going to endorse you, or I'm going to withdraw my endorsement of anyone that fails to go along." Is that pressure being felt real here in Hoosier State?
Well, I think you'd have to ask the people who that pressure is on. I don't know if it's real. I think early on, when I was talking to senators, there wasn't any of that pressure. Like the president called, there was no arm twisting. The vice president came, not arm twisting. They even said that was their words. It was, hey, let us sell you the reason why we think redistricting needs to happen. I think what changed is when, at least for me, is when Rod Bray basically told the governor that we're not going to honor his constitutional authority to come back, right? And now he did come back after some arm twisting, right? But it was, again, if you want to come back and vote no, fine, come back and vote no, make your case, defend why you believe what you believe. That's your job. But and you have a right to do that. But for you guys not to come back when the governor says, hey, I'm going to call a special session, they should have come back. And I think that's kind of the moment that I think everything changed, where it said, wow, you guys really just slapped the governor in the face. And again, it's not about Governor Braun. It's about the office of the executive and the constitutional authority that office has. So when the Senate basically said, no, go pound sand, executive office, like that was where I think things started changing.
Yep. All right. Well, we're like kind of move this along. So Brad, I'm going to let you have a question here. Hopefully you have one. Because you look
have the testimonies so far been against or for redistricting, and just like a ballpark figure, because I kind of want to see if it's representative of the state. And with the way that Lucy brought up, and Lucy, I could have listened to you talk for, those were good questions and fun. But the pressure by Trump, do you think it's right that he's just calling everybody out by name and using a rhetoric that is basically just threats? There's no deal to be had. It is, you do what I say or else. That's not a deal maker. That's not a leader. That's just a bully.
Well, I think it depends on the issue. I think it depends on the severity of the issue and the severity of the fight that we're in. And listen, I think Trump is he's a fighter. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, that's what fighters do. I'll be frank with you. I think the Republican Party has been a party of cowards for a very long time. I mean, I've called out the Republicans, for years on just, they don't want to fight. I mean, you go down to the State House, for years I've been told we don't like having controversy in the State House. We don't like having controversy. We're just going to keep our head down. The Republicans are terrible at messaging. They're afraid to message. And the reason is they're like, we got the supermajority. Just keep our heads down. Don't say anything. Just do the job. Vote right. We'll get out of there. We'll win within the walls of the legislature. That's fine. And they do that. However, they lose in the court of public opinion because they're not able to get out and punch back. They're like, ooh, if we say something that is a little bit firebrandish, then somehow we're the problem. Somehow then, people are like, oh, they're mean. Those Republicans are real mean.
Well, but are they listening to their constituents right now, though? I mean, like the ones who are saying no,
I have a lot of listen. I think there are a lot of voices on both sides. I think there are people that want it, and there are people that don't want it. And I'm hearing all over the state. When I travel the state, people are like, "We love what you're doing. Keep doing it." And then I hear testimony. People say we don't want to do it. Like yesterday there was a lot of testimony for it up front, and then towards the end of the day, it was a lot of testimony against it. And so I think we're seeing a mixed bag. So what do you tell the people who are adamantly for it, right? I mean, their voices matter too. So, it's kind of to Lucy's question, do I represent all Hoosiers? Yes, I do. That doesn't mean I have to obey all Hoosiers. I got elected based on what I believe, my worldview. I told Hoosiers how I would make my choices, and now I'm going to do that for 4 years. Well, 3 years left, and then they can judge me at the end. If they don't like how I did it, then they can vote somebody else in. I don't care. They can do that. So I think that's where, people say, you represent me. You need to do what I want you to do. Well, I've got 1,000 other people on the other side saying, you represent me and you need to do what I'm telling you to do, which is opposite of that guy over there. So ultimately I tell them all, say, hey, I represent you, but I'm not doing what any of you are telling me to do. I'm doing what I told you I was going to do. And that's why you voted for me. And that's the difference between a democracy where the passions and the factions, like James Madison said in Federalist 10, the factions have this passion that can drive us off the cliff. That's the difference between a direct democracy and a republic that is the tempest to the teapot, right? Where we cool those passions. And so anyway, that's my philosophy on this whole redistricting, and how I stand up and say this is what I believe and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
All right. Well, hey, Micah, I mean, we appreciate the heck. You've been on our show about 6 or 8 times now. You're always accessible. And as I said in my little speech on the floor yesterday, 80% of why I vote for somebody is if you can get a hold of them. And,
that's right.
If you can't get a hold
John,
of them, pretty much
you're still working. I see that you're in the House of Representatives. That's amazing.
Well,
I mean, you're still down there.
Right? It's my dream. I'm just, living the dream, but all that. So I'm thinking I'm going to play a clip here, and you might want to stick around and listen to this one. So I actually was when the Democrats came out, and our next guest was Rodney Pohl, and he was one of the speakers. And I went up to him after that and talked with him, and he said, I heard about the Mouthwash show and I will come on that. And I see him backstage. So I love it. I think we're getting a reputation for treating people fair. We're not in here. I mean, Lucy is our, she's our junkyard dog. She will get she's got boxing.
Every now and then though, Lucy says something that is right.
Shows her heart
right.
every once in a while.
I'm consistent. I am consistent. I give the Democrats and the Republicans both a hard time because you both deserve it, quite frankly. If I could take you out behind the wood shack, I would take you both out.
Yeah, and I have a saying
about threat. The state police are gonna, they're gonna call you. I mean, come on, Lucy.
It depends on which OnlyFans account you're looking
that's
at.
Her,
that might actually be a promise.
That's her way of swatting. She swats you out. Never mind. Anyway, but I have a saying that the only people that hate me worse than the Democrats is the Republicans. So
hey, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Maybe that's why we get along. So I'm going to play a clip here. So I actually got when the Democrats came out, I actually asked 2 questions. This little junior reporter here asked 2 questions, and this was an interesting one. This one's to Andrea Hunley. When they were talking about, this is a clip, they were talking about all the things that the Democrats are going to do and why we shouldn't redistrict because we're all going to die if we redistrict, and on and on. And then we had this, and then when we come back, Michael, you'll be gone. Sorry. And then we'll have Senator Rodney Pohl in, and we're going to talk to him. I'm excited to talk to him. I am. So we'll see how that goes. So here you go. Here's your clip. And we'll see you on the other side. Thanks again, Micah.
Hey, thanks guys. Micah. Yep, see you guys.
I have a question for Senator Hunley. Given we live in Marion County in District 7, I believe you live in District 7. How do you sell the fact that District 7 has the most murder rate, the highest poverty, the highest homelessness in the state? How can you defend that record and say, hey, we're going to go forward and do better? Where's the receipts for what can be done?
Well, I think that when we talk about this power grab, this mid-decade redistricting, this gerrymandering, What we need to look at is our communities of interest staying together. And so you've outlined that there are some real challenges that are happening here in Congressional District 7, here in Marion County, that need a person who's focused to support them, whether that's on the local level or whether that's out in DC. But what will happen is right now, we've got areas that are gerrymandered so much that you're going from the center of Indianapolis all the way down to the Ohio River on our state border. And the items that you talked about here are real issues here in Marion County, but are those the real issues in Charleston, Indiana? And will one person be able to represent the diversity that exists between our rural communities and our urban communities? And we want to make sure that each community has the representation that's needed. And right now we know that the way that the maps are drawn, we've got Hoosiers all over the state who are going to be losing out on cohesive representation.
All right. Well, hey, welcome, Senator Pohl. It's good to see you. You were one of the speakers in there, and I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't have time to clip yours out, but you were one of the speakers. I thought you did a fabulous job. I thought your group did a fabulous job getting their message out. That was a question that I asked quite frequently about if you're running in the donut county, do you want Marion County in your area? And it's usually like, no, thank you, please. That's why I moved out of here. But anyway, thanks for coming. And it was an interesting day, wasn't it? Now, did you stick around for much testimony, or did you skedaddle after?
Well, first, John, thank you very much for having me.
Tell everybody about yourself.
No. You can Google everything you probably need to know about me. I'm from Northwest Indiana. I've been in for about 4 years. I represent what I love to brag about. I represent the only district with a national park. If you have never been up to the dunes, please come up to the dunes. It's by far the most beautiful place in all of Indiana. But yeah, I'm attorney by trade. I've represented municipalities for a very long time. Worked in public defense, born and raised in Northwest Indiana region through and through. So,
all right. Well, one little known fact about the dunes is the ball jar was made out of the sand at the dunes until they made too much ball jars out of the sand of the dunes and said, no mass. I went to Ball State, so I know there's little trivia facts that come in handy for a talk show someday.
I love that you knew that. I love that you knew that. And we're more than just sand up there. I mean, the summers in the dunes are by far some of the best. I lived here in Marion County for about 7 years for law school, and then stayed for a little while. You know what? It was such a transformative time. It was like right after they knocked down the RCA Dome, then they built the Lucas Oil, they get the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden you start to see, a lot of good work that was done. And it was under two different administrations, Republican administration and a Democrat administration. So
yeah, we can blame you for the downfall. But anyway, I'm here holding the fort, and I actually have the S out of the end zone of the RCA Dome, which is quite interesting because I could have gotten any letter, but I got S, which matches my name on the end. So that's been convenient. But anyway, so we want to get to this. You were, you're one of the Democrats in the state Senate. And I always say it's like, I feel like, the Republican in Marion County, I'm in the back seat of the car. I'm just driving along, I'm saying, hey, I want to stop. I got to pee. And nobody ever stops. So I'm going to start. We're going to start with Brad this time because he's your friendly Democrat on our show. And he's
holy crap.
Question.
I just looked you up and I'm like, wait, we have a Democrat on? Like, this is what is this?
Hey,
and also just so you know, I'm originally from Griffith.
So you're a Bears fan.
So.
Bears fan.
Yeah.
There we go.
And White Sox. And White Sox.
Yeah. I'm a White Sox fan.
Blackhawks, Bulls. Oh yeah.
It's a good time. And yeah, the dunes are awesome. I guess for you, I'm assuming you're a no vote then. Against
yes, I'm a no vote for sure.
Okay. Have you had constituents like within your district telling you that they want you to vote for redistricting?
I've had nobody. I've had from what my LA told me, we had one person that had contacted us that said that they were pro redistricting, and countless others that have said no redistricting. When I'm out and about in my district, everywhere I go, people are like, tell them not to do this. These are Republicans, these are independents, these are libertarians, these are Democrats. They're all against it. I mean, I think they look at it from a community standpoint. They understand that, like, for example, Congressman Van, he is not some like crazy progressive, congressman. He's very blue collar. He's part of the Steel Caucus. The steel mill is such a big, important part of Northwest Indiana, and he's on that caucus. He really, truly serves all of them. He goes to their union meetings. He comes to every one of their community meetings, and they're afraid to lose that, regardless of if they disagree about certain policies that he might have. They know that he's, one, accessible. Two, that he's going to have to listen to him, because it's a purple district. I mean, it's not a give me. I mean, it's why the Republicans have really targeted
30,000 last time in the district that it's drawn. So yeah, it's very close, and I know that Jennifer Ruth Green came fairly close in that. So it is an even one, unlike Marion County, which is totally lopsided. The steel industry is something up there. I know U.S. Steel is. I don't know if that merger went through with Japan or not, but our steel industry, we need to support that and keep it going.
Well, wait, Senator, but with everybody saying saying no to redistricting, then like, where does that disconnect coming from in the rest of the state? Like,
I don't think there's a disconnect. I think what you'll hear across the rest of the state is it's from what we've heard, it's no. I mean, even in some of the redder areas, I feel like
it keeps advancing, though. Like,
I'm sorry,
it's political. I mean, it just
keeps
advancing, though. So, like, if the constituents are against it,
I really think that our legislators need to listen to them, because even in districts that are red and they're going to still be red, but they're going to be a different district. You have a lot of communities that are very, very close. They like the representation that they have. They don't want to be redrawn right now. They don't, and I think this is the most important part. They feel like they're not getting a say in it. And I think that we're already on a very, very thin thread with the trust in government. We know that Congress has such low approval rates, low trust in our federal government. And I think the way that they're looking at this, they're like, wait a second. So now you guys are picking us instead of us picking you. And I think that to them, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, just feels awful. And they look at it as, hey, I've already, if say that you're in Bo Baird's district, he, great guy. Great. I'm good friends with Bo Jr. But the idea being like, if you've got your community has a great connection to him, but all of a sudden now you're not in that community anymore, and you're drawn all the way up to Indianapolis, and you may have somebody that wins from Indianapolis. How does that, how do you feel like you're being represented? I mean, I think that is really, at the end of the day, what these folks are really trying to say is, don't do this, not now. And when you do it, make sure we're part of the conversation.
Yeah. I would say that, I think that the people that are pro redistricting have done a terrible job. I don't want to use the word marketing, but explaining the pros to it. It's just basically
turning point. Come on.
I have not heard anything that's been pro. I think the Democrats have done a much better job of telling why not to. Obviously, you can see that by the amount of protesters compared to the amount of pro people. And maybe I think the testimony yesterday was loaded up with, a lot of party people. And this is basically this is an experiment of party over people. I mean, this is pure politics. Even the political scientists. There was a lady that's been a political instructor, scientist. I interviewed her real quick out in the hallway. I said, well, as a political analyst or whatever, don't you think that if you had a chance with your party to take all the positions you would from a political standpoint, and if you were a political scientist like that, you would say yes. But, people have a lot of emotion in this, and they want to have their voice heard. So I can, like I said, I think the Republicans have done that. So Lucy, libertarians, I mean, if I'm in the back seat as a Republican in Marion County, you're in the trunk.
Yes, as libertarians, we often do.
I hear you knocking every once in a while, but we ain't stopping. Sorry.
Yeah, please. I just need to pee. Can we just stop? Senator Pohl, it's a delight to meet you. I have a whole bunch of friends that are region rats, and so it's nice to see you here in person. This is just crazy that we're even talking about this. I mean, I'm accustomed to being marginalized as a libertarian, but at least as a Democrat, you actually had a chance, at being able to represent the people. And I had asked Micah, he was just on, aren't you elected to represent all Hoosiers? And right now you're colluding with your buddies in order to specifically and deliberately prevent Hoosiers, native Hoosier, citizens from having a real say in what goes on.
So I was backstage and I heard that and I was like, God, that's such a good question. Like as soon as you asked it, I was like, oh man, like, I mean, and that's really truly at the end of the day, like we all take that oath. We represent every single person. Does not matter whether they're Democrat, Republican, Green Party, Independent Party, Libertarian. You're absolutely right. And I think that is exactly why you see so many people that are coming out and saying, wait a second. These were maps that were drawn in Washington, D.C., not even here in the state. We don't even know who drew them. All we know is that, the line that's continuously repeated is it was done to maximize political purposes. And
it was. If you're going to gerrymander, go ahead and gerrymander.
It's just crazy. I grew up on the west side of Indianapolis and, in Marion County. And now I live far south. I'm about 40 miles northwest of Louisville. And so it's absolutely insane to me to think that the entire culture that I left of central Indiana, I lived in Fishers for almost 20 years. That is such a different culture from, living out on 6 acres where I literally have to drive 18 miles to get to the closest Walmart. And my gas station's
so Lucy,
9 miles away.
We're in the same district now all of a sudden? We're district
well, look
9.
very, very carefully. Yeah, I'm in 9. Are
That's
you
me
9
too.
now?
I'm in 9. It's like crazy. Now, I did make the comparison in my testimony. So I have a friend from New Albany. You got to say it Albany.
Albany.
I heard you say it. I heard how you said it.
Yeah. So, and he's down by the Ohio River in Floyd County. And it's like, well, wait a second. I got a floodplain issue. He's got a floodplain issue. I serve homeless. He serves homeless. We don't have that much, I think this is a way to bring people together. And my statement, I said, if you get lemons, make lemonades. I really meant to say make a margarita, but I wanted to be more serious about it. But, I just look at the benefits. And if you're in Marion County, we won't have just 1 rep. We'll have 4. So, but I see that it's a problem. And one of the things that I'm going to give you a little pushback here, Senator Pohl, on the fact that whenever you guys had a gloom and doom thing, if this is going to go bad and like, oh, these terrible Republicans, they're not going to represent you. And I'm thinking that people are going to, if you're elected as a representative, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, or whatever, I'm hoping you do your best. And I think that this is going to make a little more competition because somebody like Jim Baird's got to go into a new spot and do a little campaigning. And actually his is not as gerrymandered as say Andre Carson's. So, or Frank Mervan's. Frank Mervan's probably got a chance up there. I'm thinking this may be my comment is like, and I got another clip here that I'll play before we get Mike Young on about taking advantage of it. I mean, you may be thinking you're going to lose all 9 and you may get 3. I mean, you just don't know.
Poetic justice. I mean, just looking at my county, we have more cows than people. We've got 29,000 people and 515 square miles. So to take us at the bottom of the state and then, get that little thing, it almost looks like a candle flame. Maybe
it's
they're
like
doing
a middle finger.
Maybe it is more like a middle finger.
And I'm like the finger part of it. And you're like the hand part of it. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And what have you got? Like in a half a mile circumference, you've probably got 29,000 people, and certainly within a mile or 2 of your house.
Wayne Township has a bunch of people in it. Decatur Township doesn't really. And once you get past that, but the other thing is that district eats up Bloomington too. So if you're going to gerrymander, whoever did this, I bet the guy's name's Jerry. He did such a good mandering this thing, they named it after him. Because
I haven't talked to any of my friends in Bloomington yet. Of course, all my friends in Bloomington are going to be Libertarian or Republican. Very few Democrats. Although my kid counts. I mean, she went to IU and graduated from there, so now she's a Marxist. What are you going to
Well,
do?
but hey, she's a national championship Marxist. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but anyway, Senator Pohl, do you know Peggy Welch? Do you know her? She was a rep for a long time in Bloomington.
I
She's
do
friend of ours.
remember the name. I think she was a rep when I was down in Bloomington, or
Yes,
when I went to Bloomington.
She's been a while.
Yeah. So
And her
I do
husband
remember.
David Welch is a judge, and they're good people. And hey Brad, I got some Democrat friends, and I was able to trick Rodney to come on the show. So hey, I'm a smooth operator.
So Rodney's
Slick, man.
your
Yeah,
token Democrat. I thought Brad was your token Democrat. You cheating on Brad now?
Yeah, well, wait.
No, this is like
Next week I got Andrea Hunley coming on.
See,
I just sort of dogged her in
That's
that. I didn't really dog her, but I could have.
no, you need to get my state senator on there now. Is Mike Gaskill? He gave an impassioned speech that I'm pretty sure I got banned for cussing on Twitter or Facebook because, oh my God, it was the worst speech about how Trump is a patriot that I'd ever heard in my whole life. Like, it was like remember the girl that cried over Britney Spears? Like, don't stop making fun of her. That's what the speech kind of had that vibe to. Like, I mean, like, that's what that reminded me of. So,
Brad, I'm old enough to get that reference. I remember that. I do remember the Britney Spears. I do remember the Britney Spears speech.
Yep, I do think I'm going to give him a shout out.
him.
I think he did a great job doing that thing yesterday, that testimony, because I think it was 120 something people, and he was good. Now I do want to say I went over by 7 seconds and they didn't buzz me out, so I got a little bit of help there, I think. So
that I will say I was very happy that they did give he gave everybody the opportunity to speak, and that went against what he announced. He had said, I think early on, it was going to limit it to 3 hours or maybe 4 hours, and I mean, we were there late. I was up in my office watching from the windows up there, and I thought I was going to hear the same stuff that I heard over in the house, and I heard different points. I heard a lot of people making new points. I mean, they stacked all the pro at the beginning, and I think that you could kind of tell that there was some contention with it, but it gave, I think, the people that were opposed the opportunity to hear from the other side. And I think that that's really important, actually. I mean, I think that was, you have to hear that. You can't just go into an echo chamber and just, scream your lungs out and feel like that's going to do anything. Like, you have to be able to respond to the other side.
Yeah. Well, and it's
that's how you learn stuff, though. Just go to an echo chamber and, just keep getting it shoved in your face.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Well, and you know what? That's what we try to do on this show is, give a fair shake on it. And I think that's why people appreciate what we do here, because, we're I tell people, I said, we're going to try to make you look the best you can. And we're not going to, gotcha. And we're going to do a little poking here and there just to keep it interesting. But for the most part, try to give everybody a fair shake. It's like, we may not agree with your opinion, but we're going to respect it.
Well, so, and this is, I think, to that point. I mean, I think that's really, to me, that is one of the aspects, I think, of this, of kind of where we're at right now with redistricting. It's kind of like, the idea being is, one of the things that I consistently hear whenever we bring up like pretty good ideas in the Senate, and, we'll bring an amendment, and the amendment is almost like it'll be an amendment that's almost too good to defeat on the merits of it. And what you'll hear is, well, what, Senator Pohl, that was a great amendment, but you're not going to get the votes from our side because elections have consequences. Basically, like, your guys' numbers are 10-40, and that's a Democratic ideal, and it may work, but you're not going to get to it. And the idea that elections have consequences, I hear that time and time again, and it's kind of like they're right. You know what? Democrats have to be better, start winning better, some of these elections, that to make these numbers a little bit better. But I think that's where people are struggling the most with this, is because it's essentially saying, well, we'll redistrict so that elections won't have consequences. And that, I think, is where most people just feel like, okay, you're basically stacking the deck to where if I was unhappy with my representation, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, well, I tell you that I don't think this is going to turn out like it's planned. I do think that. Well, I'll ask you, Senator Pohl. Do you think this is going to get done?
Be
brutally honest. Because
I have a pit in my stomach. I mean, so I've been through a number of these votes where we thought, like, for example, partisan school board races last year. We thought, man, this is going to be very close, and we think we're going to be able to make the arguments. We think we're going to get there. And I mean, it ended up being within a couple of votes, and we lost. And it was, I mean, it's just a gut punch. And I think, you get a little bit of that, that built-in trauma that you have from it. And it's, you hear that, weeks ago, the votes aren't there. It's like, well, the more time that goes on, you get worried, I'm genuinely worried about it. And that's why I really hope that people continue to contact their legislators and make these, very impassioned, but very respectful pleas to say, hey, listen, I'm your constituent, please do the right thing, and defeat it. So
I that's sort of the feeling I have. And it's just things are going on. And then if you listen to the Rod Break clip that I recorded there, there's a schedule. And if there's a schedule, there's usually meaning behind the schedule. And, some of the things in my conspiracy tonight, Lucy, I got a conspiracy. We do conspiracy theory. Rodney, I will not put you through that. You will never be elected again if you were seen in a tinfoil hat guy like me. I think thus far you've done good enough that elections won't have consequences on you so far, the performance tonight. So you're in good shape.
I appreciate that.
My conspiracy concerns Kyle Walker, and I'm going to go deep with it. So it'll be good. And this would be one more pit for your stomach that you might not. I just want to see how they're going to get 6 votes. I just want to see how they're going to get them, and it's going to be interesting if they get there. But
I don't know if I could take another pit in my stomach, as Brad might know. I had a True Region dinner tonight from the local steak and lemonade that is by my Airbnb. I had a gyro and a pizza puff and some fries. So another pit in my stomach is going to make all of that come back up.
Yeah, we won't have that. Then you may want to tune out of the conspiracy theory, because it's Lucy's going to be proud of me, because it's probably fact, and that's what hers are. Lucy has her conspiracy fact, and it's most of them have already come true. We're actually speaking them. So I don't have Mike Young back here, so we can do another question. I got him coming in. But we'll go with one more question if you want to go, Lucy. Yes, you. Lucy, they're like Lucy and Charlie Brown. Are you going to let Senator Pohl kick the football? That's what I want to know, Lucy.
Senator Pohl, do you feel like it is unfair what the Republicans are doing? And if the shoe is on the other foot, would you take the opportunity to deny Republican Hoosiers a voice?
So I'm so glad you asked that. I've said, we didn't know what the maps were going to look like coming into this. And I've literally told everybody that has asked me this question, they could come back with maps that were 5-4 and I would still vote no. I really truly think that the institution, because here's the thing is, I think that for right now, this is for Democrat versus Republican, and I think that, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it. I think that really what it is, it's about power, and that you could end up seeing this being like, Republicans going after other Republicans in 2 more years or 4 more years. And it's
this year.
Well, and that's exactly, then it's chaos. And I think that really just disrupts the institution. I think it really just, you're not letting people pick. You're letting you're letting folks that are in Washington, D.C. pick. And I think that really does. I think it erodes the trust that people have in who they're electing. It makes it feel like they're being the ones that are selected. And then on top of that, it creates this situation in which, once the power is all the way at the top, then it's just going to stay there no matter what. And I think that is, for everybody that's holding elected office, now all of a sudden you're worried more about that than you are worried about your people. And I think that is by far, I think that is a much more bigger problem.
Politic over people. I'm going to go ahead and add Tiffany to the stage here. Let's see. We got to get the pictures. There we go. Yeah, see, you're a little. Are you on Central
Rodney,
Time?
You know what's going to solve that is the ballroom.
The ball, yeah, we got the big, beautiful ballroom. It's bigly.
That's what's the missing piece in all this.
Yep. So, Tiffany, you've missed a great show so far. We actually have a Democrat that is actually very good at defending his positions and all those things that we love to have on this show. And we have not ruined his political future yet. Although Lucy was trying there on that last question, but she didn't get it done. So I see Mike getting ready back there. But Tiffany, I know you just came in, but do you have a question for Senator Pohl? We're talking about redistricting. So,
well, thank you for being on the show and sharing your thoughts and opinions. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I just coming from another event tonight, so I'm excited to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. This has been fun.
Okay, well, Ronnie, I appreciate it. I got your contact now, and you did a good job. So we'll have you back on the show if you'll do it. So
for sure.
That's great.
Look out, Brad.
Yeah, right, Brad.
No, just have two of us on. Jeez, I've been outnumbered for like 3 years here.
Yeah, really. The internet would tip over if we had two Democrats on at the same time. Oh my gosh. So I guess what? I mean, this show is really going along great tonight. Like we got a producer and everything. I have another clip. We're going to play, and this is my second one. And let's see, Senator Yoder was at the mic on this one, and I asked her that question. So let's see if I can get the right one here. And Rodney, hey, thanks for coming on, and good luck with everything. I hope all your dreams come true, like Napoleon Dynamite. So there you go.
Thanks, guys.
All right, see you.
Take care.
Yeah, I have one more question. Are the Democrats looking at this more of an opportunity? You hear people saying about backfiring. To me, it looks like, maybe it's a trade, one district for maybe getting three. Is that something that you all are considering, or are you just going to sort of cross that bridge when you get to it if this passes?
Again, we are listening to our constituents. Senator Ford said it best. Each and every one of us are hearing endlessly from our constituents, no matter where I go. I was at Shalom Center, which is the homeless day shelter for our homeless population in Monroe County. And even those receiving the breakfast and serving the breakfast were asking me this. And they were saying, please don't do this. Don't take away our voice and our vote. Don't redistrict mid-decade. And we are hearing this throughout Indiana. And I think we're going to continue to fight on behalf of them to make sure we fight this week. And of course, as I mentioned, we'll all have to remain vigilant to make sure that Hoosiers are always centered in the conversation.
All right. So one of the things I just want to pick on right away, because there was a lot of this. Hey, welcome, Senator Young. We'll get to you in a second. Just hold on. I just want to make this point. They acted like this is going to be the end of the world. You're not going to have your vote's not going to count. Blah, 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 blah. So that was one of my things. But as a reporter, I had to stay neutral. And I asked that question to try to help them. And she could not really answer it because I would have said, yeah, we can look forward.
Really good hand motions.
The whole thing was scripted. Hey, I see, Mike, you have a Democrat shirt on there. It talks about therapy because we all know most Democrats need therapy, right, Brad?
Yeah, much time down there with the Democrats. You spend as much time down at the State House with the Democrats and half our Republican caucus. I need therapy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live when they do Jeopardy and the category is therapy and he says the rapist? If you, it's hilarious. It's just the way if you take Brad gets it. You old boomers don't get it. So, but anyway, so Senator Young, how are you doing tonight? I appreciate you coming on. This has gone swimmingly with 3 guests. Tiffany coming on late. I just feel like I'm doing a great job juggling tonight. I should be given a clown award or something, a circus award, clown for sure. So how's it going, Mike?
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Okay, well, we talked about redistricting. We had Mike on. We went through some procedures. We talked about the schedule. I guess let's just we'll just start with some questions here. Tiffany, you want to fire out a question? I
yes, sir.
What do you?
What kind of internet connection you got there? Is that the Speedway special?
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen.
He's relaxing too. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Senator Young, where do you stand on redistricting and why?
Can you hear us okay, Senator?
I'm an American, and I say, is what?
I said, you can hear okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, I'm an American, and so I favor redistricting. And why?
Why?
Yeah, that's the big point. Wait, listen to this. I'll tell you what. I don't know. Rodney's a good guy, but
So am
I can understand.
anti-American though, Mike? Like,
What?
am I anti-American then?
Yeah, if you're not for redistricting, yeah, you are.
Can I ask you
Okay.
the same questions I asked Micah Beckwith?
Well, I don't know. I haven't even finished
Hold on,
Tiffany's
wait a
yet.
He's down. You got. Hey, I'll put you in, Coach. I'll put you in, Coach. Come on, let's wait a second here. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, here's the reason why. I was just going to say Rodney's a nice guy. I went to law school with him, so he's a good guy. But listen, when you have the advantage, you want to keep the advantage, and you don't want the other team to play by the same rules that you used to get where you were. And I'm just going to give you a couple quick examples. One, if we were just going to be fair, I said at the mic the other day that if we were going to be fair, the Democrats ought to have 2 more seats than what they have in Indiana today. If you want to be fair, they have roughly about 40%, just a little under 40% of the vote. They should have 4 congressmen. We should have 5. But our caucus doesn't want to be fair because this is not about the issue of fairness. But if you go by what the Democrats say and you want to be fair, well, let's use the votes in each state that represents the party's vote, Republican and Democrat. And so I used Harris with Trump. And if you looked at that, we would come up with 195 Democrat congressional seats, and Republicans would have 240 Republican seats. Currently, we have 220 and they have 215. So, first of all, there's something that's not fair about that. We have fewer seats than maybe we should. But if you look at the other thing, it would have been a good idea. Maybe I should have sent this to you guys so you have it. If you look at the 14 most egregious Democrat states that we have, and I'm going to give the Democrats a break just as I will give a Republican a break. I think they each have one state where they only have one congressional seat. And so you can't have 1 and 1. So I give them a break there. But of those states that do, the Democrats have 7 states in the Northeast that don't have one Republican congressional seat. And yet the average vote is 45-55. Our vote is higher than what it is for the Democrats in Indiana. And we don't have one. New Mexico and Hawaii, both about the same range. We don't have one Republican congressman in those states. Of those 14 most egregious states, Democrat states, there's a total of 130 Democrat congressmen to 26 for Republicans. If you did it a fair way based on vote, the Democrats would have 89, we would have 67. The margin would go from 104 down to only 22. Now, listen, Republicans aren't any different than Democrats. Maybe we don't do it as badly as they do, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including Indiana, about 10 Republican states that I think is not, if you're using the word fair, it's not fair. And we have, but it's not as bad as it is in the Democrats. Of those 10 states, 35 are Democrat, 99 are Republican. But if we did it in a fair manner, it would be 52-82. So the change is only about 17 seats compared to the 82 seats from the Democrat states. Now, this is what's most interesting about this. If you looked at states, which there are 10, that have split houses, and they either have a Republican or Democrat mayor. Of those 10 states, there are 9 Democrats with governors and 1 state with a Republican governor. That state that has a Republican governor, this is how fair it really is for us. We have a Republican governor, it's a split house. They have 3 Democrat seats, and we have only 1. 3-1. But of the Democrats, where they have a split, but a Democrat governor, For whatever reason, if it's split government, Republicans do better. And they remember that all but one of these states have a Democrat governor. 32 Democrats, 52 Republicans. So if you talk about being fair, if you look at the numbers based on an arbitrary race I picked was Harris-Trump, because it's even throughout the 50 states. Republicans are more fair than the Democrats are on these. If you look at the three biggest states, New York, Illinois, and California, they have 95 congressional seats amongst the three of them. 79 are Democrats, 16 are Republican. If you would base it on just the fairness issue, the margin drops from that 19 to 76, which is almost 60 seats, down to 30 seats. So I can see why Rodney doesn't want us to do it. He doesn't want us to do what they've been doing. And listen, I want to say this just for the Democrat on there. He's a good guy too. But I don't care how the Democrats do it. I don't have a problem because under the Constitution, the Congress clearly gave us, our founding fathers, the ability to do the seats as we see justified. So when they cut us out, I may not like it. I'm not going to complain about it. But the problem is they have the advantage. We've caught on to what they've been doing, and now we're fighting back. And they don't want us to do it because we'll do what they've done and we'll gain seats. As I said, if you did it a fair way,
but why now?
Well, because we just found out about it. I never knew this stuff until this issue even came up. If I knew this in 2021, because I don't know, I don't look and see what states, what they're doing and redistricting. I didn't look to see which states had no Republican representatives. Never thought about it.
Were we concerned though? Were we concerned about? Were we concerned about the redistricting up until President Trump made it apparent that we needed to redistrict?
He made it apparent, but that was great. He made it apparent. I think information given to people makes good government. He gave us the information. I did the research. I got this number. He didn't give these to me. I did my own research. But I can tell you this, we're not going to sit back and let the Democrats they didn't break any laws, not one. They did it unfairly. They followed what they could do under the Constitution. And I don't object to that. But they can't now tell us that we can't do it. And redistricting is not only required the year after the census. There is nothing in the United States Constitution, the federal statutes, the Indiana Constitution. Matter of fact, we don't even talk about congressional redistricting in our Constitution, or in our laws. It says we can't do this. In Indiana, we attempted to do this for state legislative districts in 1995 because the Democrats, the way they drew those districts, they were really good at what they did. They could make a 45 or 42% Democrat state, and they had 56 members. And I ran our House elections, and I took us from 42 seats up to 56. But we knew we couldn't hold it because the maps were so egregious. And so we attempted to do redistricting. No one said it was illegal. No one said it was unfair in 1995. Our attempts to get this done was thwarted by the fact that they had a Democrat governor, and he was not going to use the state police to go out and round up Democrat runaways and bring them back to the Capitol. So after 2 weeks, we said we got to do our job, and that's the finished session. That's what we did. But we're not going to allow them to artificially win these seats. Now, here's the other thing, Brad.
But the constituents aren't the constituents like vocal about their opposition to this? It's not like
wait a minute. No. Don't listen to Rodney. Don't listen to anybody else. Here's what the facts are. The facts are based on a poll. Well, we got information to back it up and show it. Back on a poll. Well, let me finish. And then you can ask me another question. I'll respond. Based on the poll, people don't know any of this information I just told you. We find that when we tell people what's going on and how it's occurring, they tend to now agree with us. In our poll, 2/3 of Republicans, and we're all from Republican districts, they favor what we're doing. Even conservative independents, they favor what we're doing. Of course, there's a majority because people don't know the facts. Part of the job when it's a controversial issue is make sure people have the facts. We've only been in session about 2 weeks on this, and we don't do a very good job, obviously, of getting the information out. But once we do, people understand we shouldn't, we're doing it okay. So the question is simply this. If it's okay for those guys to do it, and it's not against the law, it's not illegal, it's not wrong, and it's fair because they're doing it under the rules we have, why can't we do that? This is why they don't want us to do it, because they know when we pick up seats, it takes away from their margin. It gets closer to where we're supposed to be at 240 seats instead of 220. And I can see why they don't want to.
If we're not understanding it, then and if you can explain it and it might take longer, then why not extend the vote until like January or something like that?
Well, you have to ask Rod Bray. Well, you have to ask Rod Bray that question.
I have a more realistic question. So, Mike, based on everything that you're talking about, how the districts are designed in other states, Illinois, in the Northeast, and California, are you getting support from other states to move forward with redistricting?
Here's what I can say this. Because the speaker has let it be known to people why we need to do this, we've come a long way. When we first did the maps back in the old days, it was a pencil and a guy sitting at a table with a map, just drawing a line through there and picking it. But today we have software, AI, and brilliant statisticians who know how to curve in and out to pick up a Republican if they need it, or if it's a Democrat, and make these districts so good you can never win. That's what we have. The speaker said of the 435 members that we have currently, there's only a handful of seats on either side of the aisle that's even up for play. There is a bunch of Democrat seats we're never going to win. There's also a bunch of Republican seats we're never going to win. And the estimates from the National Republican Congressional Committee, based on that information, the number of seats in play, the likelihood of those seats actually changing and which party they will change to, their numbers tell them on election night in November of 2026, the House will either be a majority of Democrats by 1 vote or a majority of Republicans by 1 vote. If Indiana changes, they predict they will have the majority by 1 vote or a majority of 3 votes for the Republicans. Even though the margin's slight, what we do will have a tremendous impact upon the nation. But let me just go further, because this is important. Take Texas out and California out, because they're already done, they're out of the way. California may have a problem with breaking their constitution, but they get to decide that later. A federal judge in Utah, the Constitution gives us the right to do this. We didn't break any laws that apply. There are certain laws that apply to the southern states because of slavery and all that took on, and I don't have a problem with those rules for those guys down in those southern states. But Utah wasn't one of the southern states. There's only 2 rules we have to apply by. 1 man, 1 vote, and if there's enough minorities to compact it in such a way to give a minority a majority district, we have to do it. That doesn't apply in Utah. The only vote we have to have is one man, one vote. That's it. And the districts can't be greater than a margin of one person from one district to another. A federal liberal Democrat judge took away a Republican seat and gave it to the Democrats. Now we're down one. Virginia just elected a new governor, and they have both houses. They're going to get rid of all 5 Republican congresspersons. Maryland took away the only congressman we had in Maryland and gave it to the Democrats. Illinois says they can draw the districts even better than what they've drawn before. And if you looked at them, they're amazing districts, but they can squeeze out another 3 Democrats out of Republicans. So they're moving forward on that. And you got to tell me that we have to sit back and now that it's started, now we didn't begin this, Indiana didn't, and we probably wouldn't have done anything until all this came about and then we started learning these facts and figures. But now what you're saying to Indiana, we don't care what the other states are doing. We're Indiana. I'm saying, what in the heck are you talking about? A federal judge took away 1. Virginia's going to take away 5. Maryland took away 1. There's a deficit of 7 seats. Even if we don't act, we lost 7. We have to be able to fight back to keep seats in play. And that's why we're doing it. It's not because we wanted to. We didn't start it. But we don't live in a vacuum. We live in the United States. We can see what other states are doing, and we have to do this. We have to do this. Otherwise, we don't even have a shot. We'll just let the Democrats get rid of all our people, and we'll be the better, and we'll always be in the minority. I'm sorry if that's the way the game's played. We didn't make those rules. We didn't start it. This has been going on for a while, and finally, we caught on. We may be a little slow.
Yeah, don't.
This has not been something that we've been doing. We're just catching up to what they have been doing.
Yeah. Well, and see, I agree 100% with you, Mike, because they've done an awful job explaining this. And, the Democrats have done a very good job with their marketing. I call it marketing.
Oh, I agree. You're 100% right. I agree.
Done it.
It's our leader that won't do it. Our leader is not leading. And that's why, Brad, you don't hear it. And that's why people believe the way they do. Because as Hoosiers, we want things to be fair. That's the kind of people we are. But they don't know this story. And the reason they don't know this story is because we have a leader that doesn't want the story to get out. He doesn't want to do this.
Yeah, because
he's doing everything to do. A majority of our caucus is now in favor of this. A majority of our caucus. He's the leader of the caucus, and now he won't lead the majority of the caucus.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to get to the predictions parts of it because we asked Rodney what he thought, and I think honestly, the way the schedule's laid out and the farther we march down the road here on this, it's. I think they're going to scrounge up the votes. What's your prediction, Mike?
Okay, repeat that one more time because I lost. I couldn't hear you.
Skipped on you. As we march this, we have a schedule out and we're marching towards this vote. What's your prediction as far as how this is going to go?
I usually tell how it's going to happen after they cast the vote.
That's exactly what Rod said. He says we're going to find out on Thursday.
Because I don't know.
Everybody else.
Yeah, I really don't know. If I knew, I'd be. I wouldn't care. I'd know the outcome. I think we're going to win. I don't know that. We could just likely lose. Every vote's important, as I just pointed out about the congressional races. 1 or 2 votes, either way. One party has a leader. Then I think we know who the 26th person has to be. That's what I think. I know who that person has to be.
It's got to be probably the speaker.
No, it can't. Micah won't. No, Micah will not
do it. Somebody will walk out.
Either a Democrat will walk out or a Republican who doesn't want it will walk out.
Yeah,
we won't get to a 25-25 tie.
There's a procedural thing that'll keep that from happening. So the Constitution
says that the president of the Senate may only break a tie.
If it's a tie.
Well, no, two ways. One, if it's on the final reading, it has to be 25-25 for him to break the tie. If it's for an amendment, it could be anything less than what is constitutionally required. It could be, for example, 24-24. He could break the tie on the amendment. But the only way he can break the tie, because it never gets him to 26. We have to have 26. So the only way it can happen is it has to be 25-25.
Yeah, and there's somebody will walk out. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think honestly, I think this is going to come down to our pro tem Rod Bray. I really think that that's as close as this is. So but these folks more than I know. I just sort of go with my gut instinct and. Well, we went into the vortex of the internet. He'll come back in when the string tightens up between the two cans. He'll come back. Oh, there we go. We got the little spinning wheel now. And Lucy, for those program note, Lucy has a daughter that's having surgery, and she had to go tend to her. Nurse Lucy was going. There you go. Are you back?
Yeah, back. That's the most important. Lucy needs to do that. She's a mom. She's got to do that stuff.
Well, the conspiracy theory.
But all I'm saying is that if the leader would lead his caucus, the majority of it, if he would just say, "Hey, I don't like this, but I'm the leader. My caucus wants us to go this way. This is where I'm going to go." This thing would be over in a second. He chooses not to
3 months ago, like it should have been. But
yeah.
Well, Mike, we appreciate you going on. We had an action-packed show tonight. It all worked out somehow. I don't know how, but it does. And you're always, like I said in my testimony yesterday, 80% of why I vote for somebody is if you can get a hold of them. So you're very accessible. I do want to tell a little story about yesterday. You were back in the back walking around eating popcorn like it was I'm here for the show during the testimony.
Yeah, I didn't have a place to put my feet up.
Yeah, that was ultimate trolling.
Yeah. Well, I just want to make it clear to anybody that's listening to your program, and especially Brad, I don't have one problem with any way that the Democrats have done redistricting. I don't care what state they come from. I don't care if they have 9 Democrats and 0 Republicans, or 70 Democrats and 2 Republicans. I could care less, because they have the right to do that. I may not like it. They have the right. I'm going to defend their right, but I also want to be able to do what they've done. I'm not against what they've done, but we get to play the game too. It's like I told somebody the other day. There is actually no rule in baseball that says you can't start off every inning with a runner on first, second, and third base. There's no rule. It wouldn't be fair. There might be some fights. They may have to make a rule after that. But if I was playing in that game and I was second team All-State, I only got beat out by a kid in my position that his father was a sports writer. But if I had a coach that said, I said, "Hey, they're putting on runners on first, second, and third," and the coach says, "Well, I know it. It's not against the rules, but we don't play that way. We're going to play by the rules and be fair." I said, "We'll never win. We'll never win." He says, "I know, but we got to be fair. We can't be like them." I said, "But I'm not playing to lose. I'm playing to win. If they could put on 3 guys, we ought to put on 3 guys."
Yep. Hey, Brad, maybe the White Sox would win if they could do that.
Well, they could, but the other team would be putting on 3 runners. Huh?
I was just getting a jab in on Brad and his lovely White Sox.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He's a big.
I don't. Well, okay. I'll use a pun here. I don't know the inside baseball there.
Yeah, that's good. Well, hey, Mike, we appreciate you coming on. We're gonna do the tinfoil hat thing here, and I know that doesn't want to ruin your career on that.
well, no, I've done it. I've done it before with you all. Okay, but I am really working on what I'm going to talk about tomorrow to Mike. I've been going to the mic every day, pointing out things. And the one thing I pointed out that I don't know if you guys heard about, but another reason why I think it's important, Brad, to do this is in doing my research, I learned that the census had severe overcounts and undercounts. Severe overcounts and undercounts. Now, ironically, the overcounts, where they had more population than they really had people, occurred in basically blue states, except for one or two exceptions. And the undercounts, guess which states were undercounted?
Were they
the
red?
red states. It's a swing of, it would have six, we should have had 6 more Republicans. The Democrats had 6 less. But because of the overcount and undercount, they didn't find this out until 2022 after we already redistricted. It shifted 6 seats both ways for a change of 12. We lost 12 seats by a government agency who was incompetent and did that bad of a job.
Yeah, and to back that
6
up,
seats switched back and forth.
Yeah, to back that up, if you look at the District 1 and the District 7, I ran some numbers on that. There's 100,000 less votes in District 7 than there is in District 1. And if you look at our demographic, if I just look out in my neighborhood here, I know there's a lot of those folks that don't vote. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, but they were counted in the census. So, that sort of is, just look at who votes. Look at how many people vote. There's other symptoms to this issue that they can have that. So, okay, well, hold that thought. I'm going to play that I've been trying to keep the show to an hour, but I knew better when I had 3 guests on. We were going to go long. So hold on to your hats here. Get your tinfoil hats. I got to find mine real quick, but we'll be back on the other side. All right, are you going to stick around for the tinfoil?
No, I have to, like I said, I've been going to the mic, taking a point of personal privilege, and I've got to get my talk down for tomorrow. So I'm finishing that
I'll be
up.
there. I'll be back on Wednesday. Is that no? That is tomorrow. That's Wednesday. I'll be back tomorrow with my little press pass and all that. It's been fun.
Well, anyway, I love you guys, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or Libertarian. We're all Americans. See, now, Brad, I put you in there. We're all Americans.
Yeah, man.
When is the vote? Mike, when is
I
the
appreciate
vote?
you.
Well, I'm sorry, Tiffany.
When is the vote?
Well, it should be Thursday because the way it works, we assigned it to committee on Monday and had a hearing Monday. Tuesday, the committee report comes to us. We have to pass it so they can print the bill and make it eligible for amendments tomorrow. And then under our Constitution, the third reading day would be Thursday, which we could vote. Except Pro Tem Bray said, when asked that question, he said something strange. We'll either vote on Thursday or Friday. I don't understand the meaning of that because it's up for vote on Thursday. It's the first day it's eligible. There's nothing for us to do in between. So I don't know exactly where we are or what's going on. I just found that odd.
Yeah, that was a clip I played at the very start when we came in. I recorded Rod and his conversation with my little media pass. It was fun. Exclusive Mouthwash footage.
Good.
So
good.
Yeah, and it's just very interesting to be actually in there where the sausage is being made and all that. So, but again, Mike, hey,
well,
thanks.
I'll ask you, John. I really haven't talked to you about it since you've been there. Are my speeches okay?
Oh, they're good. I mean, let's put it this way: the respect you command around there, I think they know. I mean, they already know it's going to be a good speech. It's going to be germane. It's going to be on topic. It's going to be intelligent. And that's just that's just how. Let's put it this way: you are a treasure down there. And I know that we were in that committee meeting when we killed the IFD fireman takeover thing, and I hopefully I didn't embarrass you there, but I think your colleagues got a kick out of that when I said you were a treasure. And then but I do mean that. I mean, because I've seen a lot of people down there, and I got a representative that friggin' will not talk to me. And both of those, Andre and Justin Moad. So it's very frustrating when you can't even have a dialogue with somebody because they just don't want to talk. I mean, they just don't feel like
I got it.
So
what you guys ought to do, John, is you ought to bring your crew, your Mouthwash crew, for the vote on Thursday or Friday. Now they probably can't. They can sit up in the gallery, but you ought to bring them down and invite them down there with you, and so they can watch the action in person.
Yeah, well, I'll be interested to see how many of the protesters, because the first third of the testimony, they were so loud out in the hallway, it was annoying.
Well, there's something I picked up. I don't know if this is true or not, but it appeared, because when I went down there, I was watching this group. They were walking them in a line. It looked like an army formation, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. And this lady is shouting out instructions. And they stopped at one point, and she's saying, "This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. Say this, do this. Don't let them do this." I mean, she was giving out quite.
They're organized.
Yeah,
they are very organized.
And then I
organized.
heard the same group, some people that are on our side, and I can't verify this, so just take it for whatever it's worth. This is just what I heard. That people couldn't find the darn sign-up sheet, which was in the middle on the outside of the chamber, and there were so many people you couldn't see it. And somebody, again, please just take this for whatever you think it's worth. The person reported that they were telling their members to stand around that stand where the sign-up sheet was, so that people couldn't see it to go sign in.
Yeah,
because they had all their people signed up.
Yeah,
now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just telling you, these people were good. I mean, I'm impressed. They were organized. They had their orders. Basically their marching orders, because they were marching, and they were ready to go. They knew exactly what they're going to do, how it had to be done. I was impressed. Somebody said, "Well, there's not as many people in favor of it as there's opposed." I said, "These people look like they were paid to come down there, and our guys have to take off work to come down there." And I said, "That's the difference." I mean, if we were paying people, we could get a bunch to come down too. We just don't do that stuff.
No, we're not organized, and we're not good protesters. One of the things that was an issue was one of the things that was an issue was they were so loud that you couldn't hear your name being called. So I know Merrill Zimmerman, one of the doorkeepers. Yeah, and he been in my. I've known him for my whole life pretty much, and that poor fella was trying to hunt people down. And I'll tell you, Gaskell did a great job yesterday with this. I mean, he would let if you missed your call, he made sure you got in line. He gave me an extra 7 seconds. I appreciate that, Mr. Senator Gaskell, but I don't think that's fair to the others. But I'll take it, But I did hit it pretty close to the 2 minutes. But yeah, it was a good job. It was a good job, yes, for all that testimony.
And he treated everybody the same. If somebody was going over, he stopped them. I didn't care if it was Republican or Democrat. I don't think he actually knew. He maybe could tell from their conversation, but he treated everybody exactly the same.
Yeah. I thought he did a great job and let everybody testify it was 120 plus people, 5 hours. It was, and
they didn't get done until around 7:45.
Yeah, we were up at
because they had to do amendments, and then they had to do the committee discussion. So they were there from 1:30 to 7:45, 6 hours and 15 minutes.
I think the vote came down around 6:45 or
7:45.
7:45. Yeah. So yeah, that was it was and that's how it's supposed to be done. Everybody got to say their voice, and it got voted out of committee. Now the real fun starts. We're gonna have some there'll be some fireworks tomorrow, you think?
Well, I don't think we'll do any amendments because we really don't want to change the bill because we don't have to send it back to the House and bring their members back in. But the Democrats should have amendments. I'd be surprised if they wouldn't, and we'll probably defeat all their amendments.
Yeah. Okay. And then so the third reading will come on Thursday and be done with it. But yeah,
or Friday. I mean, he said or Friday, and I don't know why. But we'll find out.
I think the more I'm around him, the more I can sort of pick up on his mannerisms, on what's going to happen. Like last time, he had a little smirk, and I didn't know if that smirk meant we're going to kill it in the House, or we're coming back.
Well, on Organization Day, I can tell you this. On Organization Day, he thought we had it killed when we voted to come back in January the 5th. I saw him leaving the building. He thought it was over. No sooner did he get in his car and drive away that Todd Houston had an announcement they were coming back December 1st.
Yeah, that was that like I said, he had a little smirk on his face, and if he was a poker player, I would have been able to tell what kind of hand he had. Let's just put it that way.
Well, and he said all along they've never had the votes, never had the votes, we've never had the votes, we've never had the votes. The other day, he said, when asked the same question, he said, well, we'll all find out on Thursday together.
Yeah,
which means he does not know where the votes are.
I'm telling you, I think it's going to come down to him. that would be.
Well, I think we know who the 26. Well, it could be. He could
may
do
have
that
him without him,
but I think we know, because I don't think he'll give us 26 votes if we don't have it, because he doesn't want the bill. But I got this list right here. There's a name on this list. We know who the 26th vote will be.
Okay.
The question is can we get the person? We know everybody. We know what they are.
Well, I know that I've seen you twist some arms out there, and I know you're quite good at it. You should.
Yeah, but they don't know. I don't hurt anybody, and nobody knows they're getting their arms twisted.
No, they don't. That's
it.
I mean, it's surgical. It's surgical. You could be a yoga instructor after you get done with this. So,
or I could be a chiropractor, I guess, right?
Yeah, and a yoga.
Make you feel good about it.
Yeah, I got this pain in my neck. Make it go away. Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks, Mike. We're going to do the conspiracy theory. I can see Brad. He's his eyes are glazing over. You think for a young guy like him?
Hey, Brad, I do apologize if I beat on you a little bit too much. I wasn't trying to do it, but I was trying to make my points clear. So
he likes it.
No. That was good.
He's used to
it. I always feel like it's like I'm like a Make-A-Wish kid when some some guests will say things like this, especially for people like Brad. Like I've heard that more than just you. So,
well, but I like you. You have a good attitude. You're a civil person.
Here we go.
No, you are, and I feel bad, but this is important to me, and I was trying to make my point.
So. Yeah, no, I really appreciate the ability just to communicate with each other. Like it's nice.
Yeah. Brad is clean and nice. We like him.
Bradley is okay. Brad, good.
That's right. That's right. Well, on that note, which is hard to. Now I'm going to get one jab in on this one. With that note, somebody saying nice about Brad, which rarely comes, we have to say good night. Thank you, Mike. And well, we're going to the conspiracy theory, but keep up the good work, Mike. Thanks for coming on as usual. Great guest. Great to get a hold of. I think even Brad likes you. So there you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. Well, Tiffany, I hope she likes me too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, Mike, I love you so much. I owe you a phone call tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. All righty.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got even another conspiracy theory. So anyway, let's get to it. Thanks, Mike. We'll catch you later.
Hey y'all, it's time for the conspiracy theory. So you better get your tinfoil hat out and let's see what's going on this week.
All right. Let's do this one. This is better. There we go. I don't know if I can ever, for some reason, the StreamYard lets you move your people around, but not tonight. So Tiffany, you're gonna be in the fun seat like the host. So do you have any conspiracy theories? Oh, Brad, look at Brad go. He's got a Christmas.
Yeah,
yeah, he's Santa Claus now. Santa Claus. All right.
Getting in the spirit, you know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So does anybody have a conspiracy?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yay, Brad.
So my prediction for Wednesday is going to be that Trump will share the addresses of all of the representatives or all the senators that are on the fence, and just remind everybody that where they live and all that sort of thing. But not threatening anything, but just sharing that information because he wants to. And if anything bad happens, that's not his fault.
Yeah, well, and I heard he's gonna post them on a giant fly swatter.
You can see that.
That would be even good, wouldn't it? That'd be since this is conspiracy theory, you might as well add to it. But yeah, well, you know what? It was in the testimony yesterday, Brad. Really, I heard people talking about that, but I didn't feel the pressure to the people in the committee of such. Most of that was brought in by somebody that opposed it. That we're not Trump's bootlickers and all that stuff. But I didn't feel that. I felt that the folks were there honestly listening, and now I did think that I think Good left for a while, which I mean I don't blame him. I mean that was a long time to sit there, but you want to at least give everybody the opportunity, and they did not give you a break. So Brad, if you would be drinking your Bud Light in there, you would have had to leave like 2 or 3 times during that time period to go to the bathroom for sure.
John, I have a question for you. From
Okay.
your perspective, do you feel like people are talking about the redistricting as part of the national play, or are they keeping it just this hyper local type of conversation?
It was mostly what I heard from they were not going to have a vote or a voice. And to me, it's like, okay, like I said, Mike hit it on the nose. And earlier in the show, before you both got on, I talked about the lack of, I guess, marketing is not really the word, but getting the word out there. Awful.
Messaging.
You could say messaging. That's the word. Thank you, Tiffany. That's why you're on the show. In Marion County, look at it like this: you'd have 4 representatives instead of 1. Like I said, if they give you lemonade, make a margarita, and look at the bright side. I think that there's a road that if this gets redrawn, maybe not this time, it's 9-0 now, but maybe the next time it's 6-3. So, but because I think that there's a lot of people that are waking up, but I don't see any Democrat candidate stepping up that can take on the machine, the red machine in Indiana. Of course, they got a good machine in Marion County, and most of those people that testified were politicians that were protecting Andre Carson. I mean, or their spot in Marion County because they have a pretty good, strong position. So we had the clerk, we had the treasurer, we had I don't know if we had the treasurer. Yeah, we had I think even the coroner was there, but there was all the elected officials from Indianapolis were there and they testified. Now, of course, I got singled out by Nikki Kelly because I have a press pass and I testified. Okay, whoopity-doo. But yeah, Brad, you're laughing at that. They love me. They just love me. So anyway, we'll see what happens, but I get the sense that they have a schedule, and I think there's going to be enough arms twisted that this thing passes 26. Like we just talked about, they're not going to let Micah cast any tiebreaker thing here. So they're going to have to get their 26, which is my conspiracy. Tiffany, do you have a conspiracy, or do you want me to go with mine? Oh, before we get to mine, I heard your name is somebody that might be running for our Kyle Walker that's resigning. But I told him, I said, well, I talked to Tiffany. She said, no way. And I don't want you to answer that because, this is a conspiracy theory. But anyway, Brad will vote for you. Oh, Brad, by the way, I got you muted because I've got some background noise on yours. It's really, I don't know what it is with yours. Just
is it still there? Every once in a while, like I think it's my furnace kicking on. I'm like right by it.
Yeah, that's what I think it is because it comes through your mic. So now it's good.
Yeah.
So you just have to freeze during the show. It'll make you pee more, but I don't care. You can take an extra break if you need. Yeah. But so
I was going to say I love Tiffany's banner. Like I just saw that, or I just noticed that. that made me laugh. So
I tell you, folks, I don't want to brag or boast. We usually talk about this afterwards about if the show was any good or not. But I thought it was a good show tonight. We had 3 guests and we got through them, and we had a couple little things there, and it all worked out. But I've been working on this conspiracy theory, and Tiffany, this has got something to do because it's about Kyle Walker. So Kyle Walker resigns with his seat. Well, he didn't resign, but he says, I'm not going to run again. And I do believe that he may have BMO strategies or B&O or M&O or whatever his strategy is. He's the vice president. I think he stepped down from that as well. So that's what I'm thinking, well, if he's not running again, he could be a yes vote. And if he's a yes vote, what did he get for that yes vote? Well, let's see. I think we're tired of Victoria Spartz. I think I think Kyle Walker would be a very good replacement for Victoria Sparks. So here's my prediction. He steps down. He votes yes. He gets a pass to run for the U.S. Congress to take on Victoria Sparks in the primary. He wins that, and off to D.C. he goes in the 5th. What do you think, Tiffany?
I don't think he lives in Victoria's district.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh
think
well, right. Does he live in Marion County? Is he like Geist
he
or
lives
something?
in Lawrence.
Okay, yeah, okay. You don't have to live in the same. Well, or he gets Jefferson Shreve. Is that his district?
I think Jefferson's district is more south.
This is conspiracy theory time. Like, really,
Yeah.
anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, let's put it this way.
Well,
Maybe
what
he's
Lucy
going for
calls
Pope.
obscure facts.
yeah.
He's going for Pope. I don't know, but there's something cooking because they got to twist the arms. And honestly, if I was one of these senators, I would tell them no, even if I was yes, so they'd have to give me something. So I think I've been down there long enough. It's starting to rub off on me, Brad. I think I'm starting to figure out how this game works. It's sad. It's terrible.
I think John, I think to your point, when everybody else is playing checkers, you got to look at the people who are playing chess.
Yeah. Well, I would say that group, you look at the Marion County GOP, the Todd Walker, Todd Young group of people sort of ran me out of the chairmanship, and they pretty much, the people that supported their person, they fired them and put their people in. That is like 3D chess right there. That's 3D chess. Now, this is going to be sort of like redistricting. Okay, what happens when the dog catches a car? What happens when you get all that power in Marion County? You got to do something. And that's where I think that if I were a Democrat, I'd be licking my chops saying, hey, you got what you wanted. Now try to beat us. Get some people in there that can win. So I don't know.
So, and Becky asked why I don't have a hat. I am hat exempt.
Yes, she is.
Just because I'm elected, so I don't.
She's actually you're actually exempt for conspiracy theory, but you're so loyal to the show, you're willing to put a little bit of it on the line there. But yeah, I don't think conspiracy theories ruined anybody's career yet.
I think it's a hat that does.
They already know I'm crazy. But hey, now that I've got I didn't show you this. This was you missed this part. So I had on my trip back from Florida, the Orlando airport, I found a coin under the seat of my seat. And here, I'll put it up there. And so Brad's still laughing at this. So
I can look at this a lot.
It's not in focus. What the hell?
That's exactly right. Hey, Tiffany, look how many views. 1.7 million.
1.7 thousand.
No, that's million.
No, up at the top.
At the top, yeah, at the top. It's 9,000 likes. And
on Threads.
And I don't even really post anything on there. It's generally a 3 and out. But I did it on purpose. And when I got home, Lisa said, "You made it blurry." I said, "Yeah, I did it on purpose." But I was really trying to use my camera to see the writing on there. And then when I blew it up, it was all blurry. I said, "Oh, this will drive the internet crazy." Maybe. I wanted to see where the ratio of people that would tell me what the coin was and how many people would complain about the blur. So you got to go and read the comments.
Irritated because this is the number one reason I went to my eye doctor, was because of seeing shit like that.
You should read the comments. Me and
John,
Lisa, we laughed.
When I clicked on it, though, I was so happy that the first comment was, "Dude, take a better picture." I started dying laughing at that because that was what was going on in my head. But
and then the boomer thing.
And then people started, actually answering the question. But
what
kind of coin is it?
It was a Slovakian euro, $2. So I found a $2 euro at the under my seat.
$2 bill.
Yeah, it's like, hey, that's like gold. It's like a euro is probably worth $2.25. It's probably $3 worth. I don't know, but it was hilarious. They had Fred Flintstone picture with the bird making the one that was hilarious had 53,000 likes. Was my grandma took a sharper image with her iron. And then another one said, "This could be a bet. You should have. What were you using? A flip phone?" Or the other one was like, "Did you use a potato today?" I mean, you got to read it. You laugh. It's hilarious.
That's
But
the thing
anyway,
about Threads. That whole platform, it's about fun. There's no algorithm.
yeah, I did. Yeah, it's but I tell you, you just get going in. You get
like
going
Twitter,
in that.
it's
Yeah.
just,
Twitter's. But so
I'm kidding. Twitter's a hellscape of friggin'
angry people. Pissed off
It's
people.
kind of liberating though being on there because like I've started
It's
cussing
like
a lot
yelling
more.
at somebody. You get
Well,
done
because like
yelling.
who cares? There is like a level of like not giving a crap.
Yeah, it is. But so Tiffany, how it works is I put it on Facebook and it goes to Instagram and Threads, which I get like generally 3 likes on Threads, not 9,000. But just what really does my heart good is I made people laugh. But
No, you didn't make people laugh. You frustrated them.
But they were
like, the hell, guy.
The damn boomer. The fact that I'm a boomer too, that just even
Dude.
made it even funnier.
That picture was so bad. That's right up there with what color is this dress?
Well, we all remember this picture.
He was a great guy. But the pictures of the dress, they're like, what color dress? Is this white or fuchsia? You're like,
yeah,
what?
that was another one. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's when I did this. When I first did it, I was like, oh, this thing's out of focus. I don't want to put it on there. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, what? I think there's a lot of people that would say, say you're a Trumper, you would put on there, Biden was the best president ever, just to piss people off. So I think those are the type of I guess you put a good word on it, frustrating.
I do have a conspiracy theory.
Okay, good.
So,
good.
You know how people talk about Trump derangement syndrome?
Oh, yeah.
And people who are just so very, very upset. I love my father. I think he has it. And I got, I spent some time with him in October and some more time with him in November. And my dad's got low vision. He's got some like vision loss due to glaucoma.
Show him my picture.
Right. He'll probably be able to decipher that. He'll be like, oh, that's a Slovakian coin from 1973.
No, it's a Blurvakian. It's Blurvakian.
Yeah. But what I think is interesting is that there are people, and there's stations that, John, you and I don't listen to, but there are television stations. And all they do is run the news with that liberal spin on it. And they are making so much money and so much propaganda and so much misinformation. And I don't think that people understand that they're just a pawn in this game. And I'm all about news. It's like, I like CNN, I like Fox, I like USA Today, I like the New York
Mouthwash.
Times, I like the Wall Street Journal. I like to get my news from different sources. So I think the worst conspiracy theory in the United States is that people should have one trusted news source. I think
like
that
Walter Cronkite.
And he's no longer with us.
No.
And Dan Rather's not doing the news. I love Dan Rather. But when you get to the point where you consume the news and you don't recognize the spin on it, then you are now
in the vortex.
I don't want to say part of the problem because that might be too strong, but you're a pawn in the engine and you're being manipulated and they're not letting you make up your own decisions. So I think that people need multiple news sources so that they can decipher for themselves what is true.
Oh yeah. I'd see that on both sides. And, usually I talk to somebody and, it gets to the point where I figure out where they're coming from. And it's always like, they won't say they won't say Trump. They're let you talk and that, but it's just there's more of an anger on that side. The other side,
But what happens when you listen to him talk himself?
I would say my thing is like, do not listen to him. I'm sorry.
How can you say that about the president of the United States?
I know we shouldn't have to say that, but some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, whether you love him or hate him, you're like, oh my gosh.
Then there has to be some sort of translator for him, is what you're saying?
Well, they call her Carolyn Levitt.
And if there isn't,
Yeah,
but then
press
somebody's
secretary.
already putting a spin on it. And honestly, and Tiffany, I'm sorry about your father. Like, then what I was thinking of is like, if he's not actually watching a program and he's only listening to it, I mean, but again, I was thinking of just listening to him speak at an event. It's not uplifting. It is not.
But the thing
it
is
does not
that,
bring people together. It bullies people and threatens primaries.
It's the New York way.
But
That's
I
what New
think
Yorkers
that-
do.
I think it's probably better to listen to Trump and to make your own decisions versus listening to it get spun in different directions. But I just think that people, my only point is that no one should have one news source. That's
Yeah, I think that it's like I see old people there.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I went on that golf outing, and I'm the youngest guy there, and the older they're wanting to watch the Fox News, and I got to watch the news. No, you don't. You don't have to watch the news. Let's watch Stranger Things. They got a new cutout on Stranger Things. It'd be better for you. But you know, or As the World Turns. Remember that show, Tiffany? As the World Turns.
that was really
General
good.
Hospital.
Oh my God, are you?
All My Children.
Are you?
All
are
My
you
children.
making a sexist statement to me because I'm a
Oh yeah,
woman?
well,
I-
Well, why don't you go make me a sandwich?
Oh my gosh, I'll make you a sandwich, a knuckle
I know
sandwich,
that's not even. I can't even be mean. I need
and
to
then I'll
practice
take you to
more.
the gun show, right?
Yeah, that's what. Oh, you're killing me. On that note, let's call it a day for a show that we only were going to run an hour, which I knew it was going to be longer, but I knew we'd have good guests. So
This was fun. Yeah,
it was good. And we actually had a Democrat come on, and I think he might come back, and we're going to have Andrea Hunley next week. We're going to see, I'll send her that, see if she follows through with her promise. So might get Andrew Ireland and Andrea Hunley. How's that for a combo? Be good. So anyway,
Nice.
hey kids, thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.